Hey guys, welcome to another episode from Kiwi Classics and Customs. And look what we got here today, Chevy Nova 73. So that's like 2 cars in a row we've had on that aren't Fords. That's pretty good. So now, this is 73 Nova. It's badged an SS, not convinced that it is, but that's really not what we're here to find out. This is a Nova with a bit of a twist, and I personally hadn't seen one like this before, and I think it's pretty cool. So let me look at that, a hatchback. I did not. I'm sure some of you guys knew there were hatchbacks around, but me, not being around America in the 70s, didn't even know these things existed. But I think that's pretty cool. You've got all this cargo space in the back. The seat folds all the way down. So yeah, you could have a muscle car Friday night, and a utility kind of vehicle Saturday to go and do your honey-do list. I think it's a cool idea. So this one's a 350. What it's in for today is we got alternator problems, not charging, and it's got a mystery clunk in the back. There's something banging, which is the customer's a bit perturbed about, so I'm guessing it's not a very pleasant noise. I didn't hear it driving in, but it's there apparently. So we got to get to the bottom of that. But yeah, I love the car. I just think the hatchback is such a great idea. They didn't make a lot of them. It's a reasonably rare car. I think they made somewhere around the 6,000 of these post cars, and about a third of those were hatchback. So yeah, hatchback SS, if it's a real SS, is a fairly rare car. But just any of the hatchbacks, I think, are fairly rare. So I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, let's dive under the hood and have a look there. We've got a new alternator for it, so let's do that. Okay, so looking in the engine bay, that's kind of pretty much what you'd expect. Looks like these little grills on the hood have been added, judging by the way they're done. Yeah, so it's got aftermarket AC on it, which is a nice have, aluminum radiator. Now we know this is dead because I've run the voltage check on that and it's not putting out any volts. So we've got a new one. Now that's just a stock one, which I think is about 48 amps, something like that, 60 amps. This is a 150 amp from PowerMaster, and it's chrome, a little bit of bling to go with the rest of the bling. Now, customer did ask me, do I really need 150? And I'm like, well, no, you probably don't. Your hair's got a few extras to run, but it's $30 more than a 100 amp one. So it looks exactly the same, but the 100 amp is like 170, that's 200. So, $30, just put a 150 in it and it'll never work hard, ever. So we're going to throw that on now and put it up in the air, and we'll try and figure out what this mystery noise is from under the back. So let's get going on this, back in a second. Okay, let's have a look at this old girl and see what we got. Alrighty. Okay, well, first thing is someone's changed the shock absorber setup in here. We've got an aftermarket bar across here that's bolted up through the rail. There's some KYB gas shocks in here. What else have we got going on? Looks like we've been hitting here and here. I'm not convinced that that's our rattle though, because that's a long way from there. And I'd say that's just hitting under like a hard compression, but it could be. We'll just keep looking and see what jumps out at us. We got a few little rust issues under here. We got a bit of rust happening here, that's not too bad. It's fairly typical. What else have we got going on? Oh, yeah, we got some gooey repairs going on here. Yes, he's going to need a little bit of love. And up here, it's not so pretty up there. And we got a little bit of rust going on up here. Can you see that there, Steve? You'll have to come over where I am to get that, maybe. Yeah, we got some rust going on in the lower corners of the quarter, which is, again, someone's done a bit of a what shall we say, amateur repair on here. looking at the other side, yeah, we've got similar issues going on here. Again, it's not that bad. It's not great, but it's not that bad. You can see on the outside here we've got a bit of mud and cracking going on here. It's going to need a little bit of love in the not too distant future. Again, we got this, what they put in here, some sort of a tar, goopy stuff to try and hide the holes. It's not really what you'd call a functional repair, but that's what some people do. So yeah, it needs a little bit of love in the back. What else have we got going on? I didn't notice these exhaust mounts look a little strange. You've got up here, you guys can see it, but there's a mount here which is welded to a piece of strap here. And oh, look at that. That strap is welded to the end of the seatbelt bolt. So good luck getting the seatbelt bolt out, because there's an exhaust hanger welded to it. And this one I'm guessing is going to be the same. Yep, that weld you can see there is welded straight to the end of the seatbelt bolt. I guess it was quick. And we've got some exhaust leak around here. Let me see, it looks like it's breaking away there. Oh yep, see that? That muffler's about done. So I think one of our best solution here is going to be to replace the mufflers and replace these tailpipes, because they're just not, this coming out of the muffler, it's taken a big dip here. It's the high part of the curve is not over the diff. This high part here should be kind of further back, so that this is further forward. Sorry, this should be further forward, which will take that further forward. And then the rear axle will be able to actually go up into here instead of smacking it there. So really that rear half of the exhaust just needs to go. Moving forward, see, the floors are pretty good. I was a bit worried we were going to see some horror stories up here, but actually the floors, and they're original, the floors are pretty good. So I'd say it's just caught a little bit of salt on those rear wheel arches. Yeah, no, traditional missing the tin shield here. So many people seem to think that you don't need to put that back on, and it's like, okay, well, we can either assume the GM engineers were idiots and just made that and they didn't need to, or perhaps they actually serve a purpose. They stop rocks getting up in there and bouncing around and tearing stuff up. You do actually need that shield. So that's something we can do. All around here on these pickup points, it's all solid. Yeah, it's, oh, this is interesting. Okay, looks like it used to be a column change. Here's a shifter linkage that used to go through these two holes, and it carries on up here. Okay, the rod and everything's still here. That'll come right out. Look at that. Okay, that's it's actually got a floor shift in it. Here's the linkage here, but they've just left this in here. Right, I guess they're just too lazy to take it out, and all it is a little pin up right at the top here onto the column, and that'll drop out. So we'll get rid of that. That may have been given as a bit of a clang, although he did say it was from the back, not the front. So got some gas, more KYBs up the front, which is nice. Got the disc brakes. Yeah, the aftermarket AC, all that's done like it should be. All in all, it's a pretty solid car. Just needs a bit of love on those rear wheel arches. But I'm really not seeing anything that's giving us this mysterious banging. I really don't think it's those pipes. It might be. We're going to drop it on the ground, and I'll get Steve to bounce on it and see if we can actually because the suspension's hanging down now. So we'll get it compressed back up to ride height, probably sit it up on axle stands and do some bouncing, see if we can see/hear this clunking that's going on. So let's do that, back in a second. Right, we've had it up in the air. There's really nothing too obvious. The exhaust system's been banging on the axle housing a little bit, but it seems to be a good amount of clearance. It's not. I don't think that's it. So what we've done is dropped it down, put it under some axle stands. Like it's over the rack, but it's on its front wheels and it's on axle stands at the back. So I just want to bounce it. Like this is what the guy's saying. Like he's slowing down, bit of a bump, and it'll bang. Okay. I'm sure you can hear that. Hopefully, it's quite a clunk. Oh, and the side. Okay. All right. Give me the camera, Steve. I'll get you to give it the bounce test, and I'll have a look under there and see if something's clanging. Pretty good. All right. Bear with me, guys. I'm trying to crawl under a car and see what I'm doing. Okay, you want to bounce away there, Steve-o? Well, okay. I'm seeing. Let me see if I can get some light on this for you guys. Yeah, bounce that, Steve. Okay, there it is. That's the main stud for the lower shock absorber mount, and that is loose. And banging away, it's clicking up and down when you bounce on it. Do it again, Steve-o. Okay, well that's identified it, and there's, yeah, it's doing that on the other side as well. It's the same noise. Okay, well, that is time to get it back up in the air and get that fixed. Okay, so we got those blower shock mounts tightened up. Alternator's on and charging. We've checked that. It's putting out 14.5 volts. So that should keep this thing live and well. So yeah, let's road test this old girl. See if our rattle in the back's gone. Not that I actually got to hear it in the first place, but we'll see if there's anything untoward going on. Then we get to drive a Chevy Nova hatchback. Yeah, it's quite lively. Some of these came out with either, I think it was a 305 or a 307, but just that little bit of a push there was, I'd say it's a 350. Mainly because the 305s and 307s were a little lazy. Yeah, we got a few squeaks and stuff from the back. I think that's that exhaust system and the way it's, that horror story of how it's hung. Could be the hatchback too. Of course, there's no rubber seal on that hatchback, so it's probably, could well be chattering a little bit. But it's doing everything it's meant to. The gauges look good. Yeah, another nice car to drive. You know, it's not brand new and it's not been restored, you know, anytime in the, well, you know, not, if it has, it was a long time ago. So yeah, it's maybe not as tight as a fully restored one, but then, you know, you can't expect it to be. And it's pretty much a daily driver, this thing too, I believe. So he drives it quite a bit, so yeah. Brakes work just fine. Got a nice induction sound. The secondaries are definitely opening. But yeah, no, that's pretty much guarantee that's 350. Yeah, still not hearing any clanks, so I think we might have nailed it, Steve. See if we can find a few bumpier bits up here somewhere. See if we can make it produce any noises by swerving a little bit. Yeah, that all sounds good. Guys, I'm going to give this a passing grade. Customer just really needs to take it to the muffler shop and get that exhaust worked on. Yeah, that's more cost effective for him to, for the muffler shop to do it than for me. Yeah, there's a few bumps. There's no scary noises coming from the back. There's no real clanging like it was when we bounced on it before. Oh, yeah, it was a good bump. No, that's just nothing there that you wouldn't expect to hear. But yeah, alright guys, we're going to park this up, go home, possibly have a bourbon, maybe. And we'll see you on the next one. Take it easy, guys.